Welcome to episode number 33 of the Sports Plus Life podcast. I swear to God, I don't have coronavirus. At least I don't think I do. Sports Plus Life podcast, episode number 33, the Larry Legend episode. That's all we're going to talk about. Larry Legend, Patrick Ewing episode of the Sports Plus Life podcast. Larry Bird, by the way, being Larry Legend. Fitting he was 33 because he just drained them all day. Larry, dude, if you guys don't know too much about Larry Bird, he talked a lot of shit. He throw down, man. You see him in those scraps. That was him throwing down. Nobody else. He was tough dude. Indiana, country strong. But yeah, this coronavirus is a big deal, I guess. I poked fun at it last few episodes of the Sports Plus Live podcast. I've also poked fun of it on my Instagram and Twitter, Sports Plus Life, and Instagram and Twitter, MRAKACO. And just last night, I put out an emergency baby podcast on the coronavirus and the NBA suspending the season last night. So go ahead and check that out. I'll put it in the description down low. And in the last 24 hours, we've had the NBA suspended season last night due to the fact, starting with the Oklahoma City Thunder and Utah Jazz game, where apparently Rudy Gobert, the center for the Utah Jazz, was diagnosed with tested positive for the coronavirus. And then, and this was from him like last week, touching everyone's stuff. He was in a setting like this, microphone, everyone has their things in like a press conference type of thing. And he was like, I don't have coronavirus, so I'm touching everyone's stuff. And now he has coronavirus. Who knows? Maybe a couple other people do because of him. And we know one person for sure, and that's their best player, Donovan Mitchell, the Spider. Also tested positive for the coronavirus. So they're being quarantined in Oklahoma City. I don't know, quarantined. I don't know. They're just being held. They're just there. That's what they are. They're not moving. And the NBA decided to suspend their season until further notice. Now, who knows what that means? Who knows what's going to happen, by suspending the season? Where are they going to pick up? When are they going to start the season? Are some games just not going to be played? There was a report out there that said that they will start this. They will just start the playoffs. And that's pretty, and it's crazy. That's pretty crazy because if you just start the playoffs, not a lot of these teams can make that push to make that 8 seed, 7 seed, or all the way up to the 1 or 2. So that's I don't know if it's just weird. Like I don't know this is like weird. Like I said on my YouTube video last night, the baby podcast is what we would like to call it. Is that let me take a look here. I'm trying to pull this up. A lot of the cases have been older people. So people like Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, it seems like, given by the numbers, that they I don't know that they would be okay, to be honest with you. But who knows? You never know with all these type of things here. This pandemic, as you will. I'm hoping they're okay. I hope something like this, that gets kind of like, I don't know, contained. Because now NBA suspended their season. MLB has suspended the opening season. Opening weeks of, baseball. The MLS is also suspended for 30 days. Let me try to think who else has been suspended. MLS. Yeah, that's pretty much as far as suspended goes. Suspended means it'll eventually resume. Now, NCAA has gone out and canceled everything sports related, everything. Track and field, soccer, whatever you're playing right now, baseball, and of course, March Madness, the NCAA tournament, men's and women's national tournaments, and also the conference tournaments leading up to this weekend have all been canceled, which is it's unprecedented. Yeah, it's never been heard of. I don't remember this ever happening. It didn't really matter to me because I never do a bracket anyways. I always skip the bracket, either forget to do it or I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I lose interest after the first round because none of my teams are in it. That's gonna give me a chance to win anything. This is it's pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy that this is actually going on. Sports heavily is being affected. La Liga is also shut down operations. Serie A, the Portuguese league. I think English Premier League is on its way right now. Before I started, I just saw Mikel Arteta, the manager, head coach, we would call him here, for Arsenal, tested positive for the coronavirus as well, which is pretty crazy. So it just, a bunch of bigger names are getting it. Tom Hanks got it. He's in Australia. They say they're feeling a little down, but they feel better now. They seem to be doing all right. Got an update from his son. He also posted on Twitter as well. It's crazy. Just stuff like this affects more than, I guess, just people like myself who cover sports. I won't say cover sports, but watch sports as a fan. That consumes so much of my time, and I love it. And because like I've said before, as sports become such an outlet for all the bad things in the world, and the bad thing in the world is affecting my outlet. There's still some stuff going on, which we'll get to in a second. But yeah, just not myself. You got people who rely on these games going on as far as an income. People who who are getting paid hourly. I said this on my YouTube video, Baby Podcast, last night, that it looks like, people get paid hourly. You won't show up to work, you're not going to get paid. I don't know, like vendors. I don't know if like a lot of people, like, for example, someone like, let's take a look, like Jerry Jones owns, Dallas Cowboy Stadium, they're all under his banner. Let's say they get suspended. Those people can't come to work. Those people can't get paid. And, so that's just crazy. That just sucks. It affects a lot of people. Financially, which is pretty crazy because a lot of these people are barely scraping by, need the money to pay bills, pay home mortgages, because guess what? Out of all these pandemics, the bills aren't stopping. The house payment isn't stopping. You still have to pay for all that. I doubt they push back any tax stuff going on. It's just how this government works. It's just how this country works. We could put everything else on hold, but they can't, for them, it won't be reciprocated. It won't be vice versa. So those type of things just suck, especially when stuff like this happens. But who knows? Hopefully this is, something gets contained. Hopefully we're in a spot where we can get back to normal, somewhat get back to normal. And get back to our lives. I know a lot of people are going remote. A lot of schools are going remote. I know a lot of jobs are going remote, which a lot of jobs can go remote. We're in a tech world, so we can do that type of stuff. But like a lot of events have stopped happening. For example, Manchester United today, they in just yesterday as well, Champions League, UEFA, a lot of games still continued on, but they continued on without fans. Now, Manchester United played away to, I want to say it was like Sweden or something like that. I can't remember what it was, the country they went to. They played LAC. is who it was. Let me take a look here. Anyways, they played away, and obviously a lot of people plan those type of things. And Lask Linz, which I think is, let's find out here where the stadium was. This one was no, not this one was in Old Trafford. There it is, right there. It is Linzer Stadium. Where the heck is that? Well, anyways, it was away. What I'm getting at is that, they played away, and the cool thing about Manchester United and what they did. So a lot of people plan these type of things, and unfortunately, fans couldn't go into the game, so they travel and just unfortunately, this is the second thing probably till the day of. So there's not much you could do about it. Take trains, take planes, automobiles to get to where they need to be. Manchester United did the classy thing and are reimbursing people for their travel, especially fans for their travel. I think this is a sports level. This is a club level. I don't know too many people are doing that. But we can learn as a country, like just little something like that. We can learn to. We put this on on our people. Our government has put it on us. So we have to halt. We can't go do this. We can't do that. We can't work. We can't provide. But you still expect us to do this and do that. I think there needs to be some sort of, I don't know, pension, but some sort of plan in place, some sort of package in place for people who can't work. What's there to do? And just something little like that is pretty cool that Manchester United did. And this is worldwide. So this is a pandemic. This is a worldwide pandemic. Who knows? I don't know if as a world we're ready for something like this. And I don't even know how something like this even popped up. I used to work at a cell phone company, the red one. If you guys can put two and two together. I worked at the red one and the pink one, and the orange and blue one, but that one didn't really count. Out of touching, every day we're touching phones. Dude, seriously, I'm not like, I always forget. You get really, really busy, you touch all these phones, and you go eat. You don't even think about it. You just eat without washing your hands and stuff like that. And I just like, dude, how come I don't have coronavirus? Where's my coronavirus? You know what I'm saying? Just give me the Rona already. I don't get it. Like, I don't know where something like this came from. The only thing you ever had to worry about was the flu. You got sick a little bit, and that was it, and you got over it. It's kind of like has the same symptoms as the flu. And holy shit, Uncle Edgar, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared. Hopefully you don't, just runny nose. People may experience runny nose, sore throat, cough, fever, difficulty breathing. That's with like a lot of things. So it's like, okay. And sometimes people see that and they're like, oh, it's just the flu. I'll get over it. I just need to drink fluids. But it seems like it's way bigger than that. People are just saying, just wash your hands, don't touch people, don't do this. But where has this been the whole time? Like, how come this, like, is this something new? Like, there's a bunch of new germs. I do know that with global warming, apparently, all this stuff melting, there's gonna be stuff coming out. I guess that's what I've heard. I don't know anything about that. All these glaciers have things trapped into them. Maybe this is what it is. This is the beginning of the end, people. Don't be too scared. Just kidding. If you're listening, you're watching anywhere. I don't know if this is the beginning of their end. If it is, and if anyone wants to hit me up before we die, just hit me up. MRAKACO. Instagram, Twitter. If you have my number, holler at me. Just hit me on the personal. Don't hit me on Sports Plus Life because I'm like that. We gotta stay professional. All right. Slide in my DMs in the personal. All right. But yeah, well, like, it's just weird that something like this, can just come out of nowhere. Like, it just seriously just happened. Like, it was like, oh, what the hell is a coronavirus? How come I didn't hear about it? Sounds just like the flu. Yeah, so since just like barely started in January, I'm looking at this little chart. The U.S. over 350 cases diagnosed. Let me take a look here. What is that? What's a diamond? I don't know what this has to do. Anyways, I don't get it. I don't know what I was just looking at. But yeah, I mean, kind of off chart a little bit. So I mean, everything you want to be able to stay away from a large group of people. Stay away from Rudy Gobert. Stay away from Donovan Mitchell. If you see him, cross him over, say peace, and just dip away from him. Let me just pull this up here. How many people have died from the coronavirus in the U.S.? At least 38 people have died from contracting the coronavirus in the U.S. 30 in Washington State, 4 in California, 2 in Florida, 1 in New Jersey, and 1 in South Dakota. So you got to look Washington State and California. Washington State, 30 in Washington State. What's in Washington State? Well, Washington State is closer to Asia, China. So that kind of makes sense. That's, kind of like, that's where they have a lot of Asian population, a lot of Asian conglomerates. I don't know what do you call it there. In California and in Washington, so on the Bay, the West Coast, so Northwest, they kind of make sense. But yeah, that's what you're looking at right now. I don't know how updated this is. Hold on. March 12th. That's today. It really is turning into like Friday the 13th. Really, I tweeted out that it'll be Friday the 13th. Like for real. Probably the top all Friday the 13th because we're going to have zombies. Real life zombies. It's unbelievable. Let's see. What else does it say? Hold on. 20 of the Washington patients died at Evergreen Health Medical Center. At least 19 of the victims were associated with a nursing home in suburban Seattle. According to a local health official, at least one had previously been aboard the Diamond Princess cruise ship. So it sounds like, I was like on a cruise ship for one person, but a lot of them were elderly. So unfortunately, with weaker immune systems, this type of things has happened. How many cases of coronavirus are there worldwide? More than 127,000 cases out of 7 billion people. At least 4,718 people have died. More than 68,000 people have recovered. So you take a look at it. The recovery number is way higher than the latter, and I don't know. People are taking this as a big deal. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. Just stay clean. I've said it before. Wash your ass. Don't be nasty. Wash your hands. More than you've ever had before. So just be careful. Let's take care of the kids too. Let's take care of the kids. You guys know me. I'm about the kids. Let's do better for our kids. This is crazy. Let's keep them calm. Let's let them know that we're going to be all right. Let's be on the positive side for our kiddos. All right. And just keep them away from Rudy Gobert, Tom Hanks, Donovan Mitchell, Mikel Arteta if you're overseas. There's been a couple prominent, even Juventus. One guy got tested positive, and Cristiano Ronaldo was like, I ain't leaving my house. I ain't going back until something's figured out or we got something under control. Everything's been disinfected because I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, big, great athlete, sexually violent. That sounded bad. Violently sexy. That's what I meant to say. Violently sexy. He's not sexual violent. He's a good dude. Violent sexy. Violently sexy. takes care of his body, takes care of his family, takes care of his kids. So that's the moneymaker right there. So I would be like, yeah, I ain't going either. And so thank God they spent the season till further notice. Yeah, I mean, just so much crazy stuff going on. I don't even know how to put my finger on it. Last night it was all jokes. Now it's like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. We're delving somewhere different. There's also talks of just straight up canceling the NFL draft, or even holding it without any fans, which would be pretty crazy. In Vegas, wouldn't that be something? Has Vegas been canceled? I feel like anywhere should be a pandemic of coronaviruses, it'd be there. So many different people show up to that place. So many different people, from all over the world, go to Vegas. And just from looking from this cool map, let me see here. Very little. There's 7 confirmed cases, 0 deaths, 0 recovered. Let's take a look where Uncle Edgar lives in Colorado. 34 confirmed cases, 0 deaths, 0 recovered. And this is as of today. So I don't know if that's jumped up or not in Colorado. Right now, obviously, California, 179 cases, 4 deaths, 2 recovered. 2 recovered out of 179. Oh, crap. Texas, 22 cases, 0 deaths, 0 recovered. So we'll see. We're going to have to pay attention. But anyways, yeah, so I don't know. Is Vegas canceled? Is people still going there? I hope we have more answers, we have more solutions, and kind of get back to a little bit of normalcy. Crazy things going on this weekend. There's a lot of stuff still kind of going on, especially on like the UFC side. UFC is planning to go on with their event this weekend in Brazil. Their fight is UFC Fight Night 180, I believe is what it is. And they looks like they're going to do it behind closed doors. No fans or anything, just people who work there. And the fighters, which will be Kevin Lee against Charlie Oliveira, which is the main event. And you also have Damian Maia and Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns. Like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, it's still going down. This fight I'm not too worried about. There's a fight on April 18th. The fight that everyone's been waiting for. The fight that should have happened 5 times already hasn't happened because of a bunch of freak different things. Being sick, Tony Ferguson tearing his ACL it's the fight between Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov. That's in New York, and New York's already stopping everything for 30 days. Today being the 14th? They're 12th. So who knows? I don't know what's going on. I hope. Oh crap! Oh, I almost died in front of your eyes. I swear to God, no coronavirus. I hope that fight goes through. I hope that it still happens. I hope. At least it doesn't even. I hope it happens even like old school, like in a gym. You know what I'm saying? Like old gym, or even someone's basement. Let's take it back. Let's do it in. Let's do it like in a. I don't know, like you could do it in a lion's den, old school. Lion's den, you could do it at a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. It doesn't matter as long as there's cameras there and we are able to watch. That fight has to happen. I hope it happens. There's still a couple boxing matches coming up this weekend that are going to be happening behind closed doors, and then they've canceled a few boxing events in the next 30 days. The big one, the 28th. I can't remember who's fighting on that one. And then, another big event that's still, and there's 2 events here I'm going to talking about. One sport, one event. The XFL still hasn't canceled anything. Looks like they're still going to play. Looks like they're going to be the only sport going on. And looks like they are going to get like 27 million or something ridiculous. I don't know how much. They're going to have 50 million viewers because they're going to be the only sport on. during the day. And then also you got the big event, which happens in Florida, Tampa this year, which is WrestleMania. Hundreds of thousands of people are, going to should be in Tampa for this big weekly long event. You have Axis, which I believe WWE Axis, which is where it's a convention where you go in and you meet all these fighters, you do all these type of things, you get into rings, you see a Hell in a Cell. It's a big old WWE convention that they have, along with other bunch of different other events. Hall of Fame weekend. You have Hall of Fame weekend. You have NXT Takeover. You obviously have WrestleMania, which apparently it looks like Tampa's leaving it up to WWE. I mean, if it's up to WWE, it's going to happen. There's also reports saying that Saudi Arabia, which is like some sort of deal that WWE has, is willing to pay like $75 million if you move it to Saudi Arabia, which I'm sure a lot of money. Vince McMahon will not turn it down if it push comes to shove. Which, by the way, I don't know. I haven't heard of anything going on in Saudi Arabia as far as the coronavirus. So, who knows? Who knows what Vince McMahon's thought process is going to be? They pushed a lot of things back. So on Friday nights, which will be tomorrow, Friday the 13th, they actually moved. I just read this, that they moved the WWE SmackDown from, I think they were going to do it in Detroit, to the Performance Center in Florida. Which is like, they actually just had NXT there. Performance Center is their training center. So it's a little smaller, way smaller venue. Only a few hundred are probably going to be able to get in and watch, if that. So, yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see. Hold on, everyone chill. Hold on. You guys, this is live. Not really. All right, I'm back. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see what the next few days holds and what the thought process is gonna be. I mean, they've thought like even Fast and Furious has pushed back their premiere of the movie from April this year to 2020, April 2021 next year. So they are waiting to wait a whole year. And I think the big difference is the reason why they do something like that is because they do like a world tour of, promotion, trying to promote the movie, which I get. Definitely. I mean, I definitely get that. You want people to go. I mean, people aren't going to be going to the movies if there's something crazy going on. So, they are in assumption that this is going to blow over and we're all going to be okay. That's what it seems like to me. That's what it feels like. Fast Furious 9. Fast 9, I think is what it's called. Yeah, it's been a weird. Premier League will meet Friday to discuss whether to proceed matches after Mikel Arteta tested positive for coronavirus. That just came through. I have my shit open here. It'll come through. So, yeah. 2020 sucks, doesn't it? 3 months in, and we've had wildfires in Australia, one of the biggest continents in the world. We've had World War III almost pop off. We have the coronavirus. We lost Kobe Bryant. Jesus, I mean, what else? Don't look at me that way. Yeah, it just sucks. Just so much weird shit has gone on this weekend. Yeah, we're just on this weird roller coaster. 2020 was supposed to be the year of flying cars. As you know, you've seen in cartoons back in the day. If you're my age, you remember watching cartoons like 2020. We're gonna have flying cars. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? But to get through this right here, let's get through the actual part of the podcast, Sports Plus Live podcast, because who knows when we're gonna talk about sports. So let's get it out of the way. This weekend, like I said, UFC is gonna be going to Brazil, and they are. Let me see here. They are gonna have a fight with no fans. This weekend will be Kevin Lee versus Charlie Oliveira, which I am excited for because Kevin Lee came out from. I don't think he lost a whole lot of fights, but he did come out from he was on 2-fight loss streak. Lost a decision. Ally Quinta got submitted by Rafael Dos Anjos, and then knocked out Gregor Gillespie. Before that, he beat Edson Barbosa stoppage. It looks like doctor stoppage, and then he lost to Tony Ferguson. So, dude, he's fought a lot of tough guys. Before that, he beat Michael Chiesa, beat Francisco Trinaldo, who we just saw, I think, not that long ago. Actually, no, I think we're seeing him this card, I believe. I get him and Cowboy Oliveira mixed up for some reason. And then he also beat Magomedov Mustafaev, which I think just fought this weekend, too. Had that banger not that long ago. Won't worry about it. But he's fought a lot of tough dudes. So, moved up to welterweight from lightweight. So he's fought a lot of tough dudes. He's a tough individual. But he's also fighting another tough individual, Charlie the Bronx Oliveira. Charlie Oliveira, man, has the most submissions in UFC history. Let me take a look. Most submission wins in UFC featherweight history was 6. Most submission wins in UFC history with 13. So the guy is obviously a high level, jiu-jitsu player. I think the first guy to ever finish a fight with a calf slice. Calf slicer, obviously, sounds like it is. It's with the calf, and I don't even know how to explain it. I'll try to link it down below for you. He's on a 6-fight win streak. Out of 6, he's won 7 out of his last 8 fights. Only loss was to Paul Felder, which you guys saw Paul Felder. If you guys watched the fight, he is vicious, tough dude. Got TKO'd by Paul Felder. So, yeah. Let's take a look at the list of last 6 wins, starting with Clay Guida, Christos Giagos, Jim Miller, David Timur, tough dude, Nick Lentz, and Jared Gordon. 4 submissions, 2 knockouts. The guy's tough. This guy could knock out the coronavirus out of you. He could choke it out of you. He could just grip it out of you with a rear naked here. I got you. I'll take it out of there. So yeah. Just kind of looking at this, and I've seen Kevin Lee get caught before. I'm going Charlie Oliveira. I'm going with the numbers. But then again, I'm going to throw my hands up, say I don't know, because we all know MMA is beautiful and you can lose it many different ways. Who knows what the feeling is going to be like with no fans? The thing that in Brazil, especially Brazilians, pride themselves taking fights like this. So now it is just because of the pride. It is the emotion, the passion. That's what Brazilians, they ride on. Is that. Now you're almost on a level playing field. Now you're getting Kevin Lee, who would have had a disadvantage. It wasn't a home advantage, it was a disadvantage. And now you're on a level playing field. So who knows? I don't know what's going to happen. I'm favoring Charlie Oliveira. Couple things go over here. Let's take a look what other fights here. Damian Maia versus Gilbert Burns. If I'm going to pick anyone, it's going to be Damian Maia, the veteran. Can finish the fight if it goes to the ground. So I'm going Damian Maia with the victories. Let me take a look at the records here real quick. Gilbert Burns, 17-3, so not easy to put away, not an easy fight at all, but Damian Maia has been in there with the toughest of the toughest of the toughest. Renato Moicano, I think last time I saw him fight, he got beat up by Jose Aldo. against Damir Hadzovic. You also have Johnny Walker. So Johnny Walker, to tell you guys, if you guys don't know Johnny Walker was supposed to be the guy who fought John Jones. Then you saw John Jones fight what's his name? Who did he just fight? John Jones fought Dominic Reyes. Johnny Walker was probably going to be that dude. Johnny Walker got mopped by Corey Anderson, who he just fought, got mopped by Jan Blachowicz. He was on the tear, man. Tall dude, 6'6". I would have loved to see a fight between Johnny Walker and Dominic Reyes. That'd be a really, really good fight. We'll see what happens. He's trying to get back in the winning column against Nikita Krylov, number 12 in the world, at light heavyweight. Another tough fight. All on ESPN Plus, I believe. You can't get coronavirus from ESPN Plus. So there's Francisco Trinaldo fighting John Makdessi. This is interesting, man. I can't say his name. Makdessi. Shorter dude. He's used to train with George St. Pierre. From Canada. Won by like a spinning back fist one time. Was pretty crazy. Let me try to see who was on. Jussier Formiga versus Brandon Moreno. My boy. I've talked about Brandon Moreno on here from Tijuana. This is going to be a good fight as well. And then Randa Marcos against Amanda Ribas. Good fight. So Ronnie Yaya, the old veteran, grappling veteran, is on here as well. A really, really good card. So I would check it out if I were you. I would check it out because there's not much else going to be popping off this weekend. We're all going to be home rated. I was planning a trip to go see my good friend up in Wyoming. We'll see if that happens. Couple things. Brian T. I didn't talk about this last time because I really didn't know the details, but apparently Brian T. City Ortega, number 2 at one point, I'm number 1, challenged for the belt at 145 pounds, slapped K-pop star Jay Park at the UFC last week, which is 248. Yeah, apparently happened before the main event, got escorted out. I don't remember when it happened, but Jay Park is just signed Chang Sung Zung, the Korean Zombie, to his management team, I believe, and also serves as his translator. Apparently, T-City said he was talking ish and or translating stuff wrong for Korean Zombie, because Korean Zombie isn't very combative. He's a very nice dude. Then we waited for Korean Zombie to leave to go to the bathroom, saw his opening, saw Jay Park, slapped him, and that was it. Got a little fisticuffs and a little skirmish, and that was it. Got escorted out. Kind of a weak move, you know. Honestly, just a weak move. And Brian T. Cito Ortega is one of my favorite guys out there. One of my favorite fighters. Finishes a lot of fights. Didn't do too good in his last fight. They were supposed to fight come December, November, but he got hurt towards ACL. So we'll see. Now, obviously, I think that's a fight that's going to happen next, given the events that just happened. But yeah, you don't slap civilians. You just don't do that, especially a little dude like that. I don't know what get into him. He just got emotions, got the best of him. So yeah. A couple more things. The Champions League happened yesterday behind closed doors, and I did want to talk about. So Liverpool lost 3-2, but lost like 4-2 on aggregate or something like that. Aggregate. At home, they had fans available. There were fans. Everyone was there available. Their fans were available, so they did it in front of their fans. Sucks for them. They lost, knocked out. Pretty good game, fun game, very excited game to watch. The one game I did want to talk about is PSG versus Borussia Dortmund. PSG actually came back and won 2-0, went through 3-2 on aggregate. One thing that bothered the shit out of me was they acted like they won the Champions League. Dude, it was unbelievable the way they were screaming, they were chanting, they were mocking Ellen Haaland, Eddie Haaland, the wonder kid. He's a teenager. They were like, he does his celebration. They were mocking it. It's like, dude, sit down. Like, what's wrong with you? You got into the next stage of the Champions League. That's it. You didn't win anything. You didn't win a championship. The way they celebrated was just so embarrassing. Neymar, Mbappe, all of them, Thiago Silva, just all of them just look so stupid. The coach, I hate the coach. I don't know his name, but the manager's unbelievable. Just kind of almost borderline unprofessional. It looks stupid. And of course they're gonna be like, oh, it's passion, oh, it's this, and like to talk shit, but it's like, whatever, dude. We'll see what happens in the next round. And then they were out there celebrating with their fans like they won something. It was just ridiculous. It was so tacky. It was corny, tasteless, blah, blah, blah. It was whatever. It was just bad. Bad all around. It just looked really bad. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off their chest. It looks stupid. Stupid. Stupidos. Estupidos. Last thing here, I do feel bad for somebody because if the season doesn't start up again, the NBA season, Vince Carter's retired now. If something happens to where the season can't start again, Vince Carter's retired. Like he hit, like last night was the last game. It was his last game. It's pretty crazy. It's a short season. So you got to feel for something like, Vince Carter. I mean, he's doing it one more time. He's getting one more year out of the year and couldn't even finish the whole season. So that was it. That's it, man. There's just so much crazy shit going on. One big thing that I wanted to talk about, and this kind of hurt my heart, is that looks like they are suspending the Euros 2020 for 2021. You guys, I've been talking about this since this first Sports Plus Live podcast. I was excited for this. It has a sentimental value to me, and it's being postponed. It hurts a little bit, but that's life. That's happens. Hopefully, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe everything will blow over. Maybe everything will be in control. Everyone will reconvene and be like, okay, we're good to go here. We'll assume what we wanted to do in the first place. So that's it. I'm just wanting to kind of get all that stuff on my chest. If you guys don't know, now you know. Be careful. Just be careful. Go out there while you're. I'm getting short in his breath right now just doing this. Did you guys hear that? Oh my god. I gotta go clear my throat. Thank you guys for joining me. I gotta get my self fixed. Sports Plus Live and Mr. AKA on Instagram and Twitter, and then in youtube.com/Sports Plus Live. Holler at me. Send me money because I'm gonna need it. I'll see you guys later.